All right, team, we are going to prepare for the writing portion of our science exam. This is super exciting because we don't usually have enough time to accurately prepare for the writing, so I'm excited that we're taking the time to do that today. Now, the writing portion of the test can separate those students who score mastery from advanced, from unset to approaching, basic to mastery. So pay very close attention because what you will see on this worksheet is going to be super similar to what you're going to see on the exam. So if you are able to go through this and execute it perfectly, it means that you are ready for the writing portion tomorrow. Let's take a look at the directions for part one. It says Ms. Tucker was looking around her house for objects she could use to represent parts of the cell. Below are a few of the objects she found. So we have a coffee filter. Let's actually label these. Make your paper look like mine. And if you're unsure what a coffee filter is, what happens is that the ground up coffee beans go in the bottom here. As water is added, what's going to happen is that the grains or the beans will stay here, but now coffee flavored water is going to filter through the bottom. So it has a semi permeable, hint, hint, filter. All right, this is a coffee maker. Here, you should know what this is. Trash can. We could also call it Brazil house, but you know, whatever you want to call it. Here we have a Ziploc bag, which we know is used to put things in or store items. Hint, hint. So now the second part says, looking at the items above, fill in the boxes with the organelle that is best represented by each household item. Each item must have an organelle. So in each of these boxes, you need to write down the name of one organelle that best describes or is best associated with these objects. You can only use an organelle once, so none of these items should have the same organelle name. This is super important. I need you to try this on your own. I want you to try to push yourself to do the best you can. Go ahead and hold up a thumbs up right now so that Miss Mills or myself knows that you are pausing the video to go over your answers. Ready? Go. All right, guys, so you should have tried on your own to fill in our cell organelles here first. Let's go through them together. So we have our coffee filter. We know it's a semi-permeable filter, which means it's going to allow some molecules to go through and keep other larger objects from penetrating through the filter. So we know that the best answer here should be cell membrane. If you got that, go ahead and snap it up for yourself. No, seriously, snap like 2 times. Excellent. Here we have a coffee maker. We know that like teachers and old folks drink coffee to get energy. And what is an organelle? We know that makes energy or creates energy for the cell, the mitochondria. Next, we have the trash can. Super easy, disposes of waste. You should have said the lysosome. And finally, we have our Ziploc bag used for storage. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We have the vacuum. You got all 4 of these correct. Excellent job, and I'm super proud of you, and it means that you are definitely ready for tomorrow's test. Now let's take a look at the bottom part. Here it says, now that we have identified each cell part, describe each cell's function below. So in the first column, you're going to write down the household item. We have the names of each item at the top. Our coffee filter, coffee maker, trash can, Ziploc bag. And then the second part is to write down the names of the organelles that match each household item. And then on your own, you're going to explain the function of the organelle. So what does the organelle actually do in the cell? How does it help the cell to maintain homeostasis or balance? I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do this silent and solo on your own, and then we're going to review the answers. Again, it is super important for you to push yourself to try on your own first. Go ahead and hold up a thumbs up so Ms. Mills knows that you are ready to execute this on your own. Go. Excellent. So we have all of our household items here, all of our organelles here. Now let's make sure we have the correct explanation. So the coffee filter can be the best representation of the cell membrane. We know the cell membrane allows molecules and gases to enter and exit the cell. So I'm just going to highlight molecules, gases. Again, it's not going to let everything in, but it's going to be selective to allow as much in as the cell needs or to let out what the cell needs in order for the cell to remain balanced. The mitochondria breaks down glucose and converts or changes it to energy for the cell. The lysosome discards or throws away or gets rid of broken organelles. So if there's a mitochondria that's malfunctioning and it's like, ooh, we need to throw it away, like an old pair of shoes or something, or, the clothes in your closet that got holes in them, the drawers with the holes in it, we need to throw that away. And other waste products in the cell. So it's going to get rid of the trash. Finally, the vacuole holds water, waste, dissolved salts, and food for the cell. The storage, why we associated it with the Ziploc bag. If you need to pause the video here to get your responses down, go ahead and do that at this time. If not, then you are good to flip the page. So let's take a look at part 2. It says Matthew built a model of a cell as seen below. We see he used a plate, and let's actually get the colored version so you can see this a little bit better. And boom, here we go. So Matthew built a model of a cell as seen below. Let's take a look at his cell. Great job, Matthew. It's okay. It's not amazing, but it's okay. The table shows the material he chose to represent each organelle and his reason for choosing the material. So in our first column, we have the cell part. Second column, we have the material. Third column, we have the reasoning. So the nucleus, he chose a cherry. He said the cherry is round, like most pictures of the nucleus. The mitochondria, he chose gummy worms. The gummy worms are coated in sugar and when eaten give people lots of energy. The mitochondria breaks down glucose or sugar and gives the cell energy. Cytoplasm, he represented that with frosting. The organelles are held together by the cytoplasm and the frosting holds together all the pieces of the cell model. Cool. So now what you need to do is identify one way you would improve the design of Matthew's cell model. Which material should be changed to improve the alignment between the organelle and its representation? So here are the cell parts. Here are all of the materials. What I'm asking you is which of these materials should Matthew change because it actually isn't the best representation of the organelle? Then the second part of the question says, why would you make this change? We're going to plan our answer first in 4 parts. The first part is our introduction. I want you to restate the question and answer it. There's a sentence starter here to help you. You're going to go ahead and fill in your response in the first box here. You don't have to draw these lines. This is just to let you know that's where you write your answer. Second part is you need to name the material that should be changed. There's a sentence starter here to help you. Third, you're going to explain why you selected that material and then name what material you would use and why. There's 2 sentence starters here. Conclusion, explain why your change is an improvement made upon the cell model. So why should Matthew have used your material instead of the material he selected? So let's go over this one more time. You're going to identify one way you would improve the design of Matthew's cell model. Which material should be changed to improve the alignment between the organelle and its representation? So what we're saying is that one of the materials that Matthew used is actually not the best material to represent the cell part. Think of a better one. And then explain why you would make this change. How does this actually improve the cell model and make it better? Step 1, plan your writing in these 4 boxes. Step 2, after you plan your writing, you're going to write a final draft here. Step 3, when you're finished, you're going to go to Apps, go to Illuminate, and then you're going to type in Cell Analogy Final Draft. I'm going to give you a little bit of help with the rough draft, but I want you to start the planning of your writing right now on your own. Once you have filled in all 4 boxes, then go ahead and hit play again in the video. Thumbs up, pause the video here. Excellent. So let's take a look at Ms. Tucker's draft of her planning. So again, our first part was the introduction. We needed to restate the question and answer it. So I said, one way Matthew could have improved his design is by using a different material to represent the nucleus. So that is my adjustment. I think that he should have used something different for the nucleus. I've restated the question and answered it. Next, we want to name the material that should be changed. So I said, instead of using the cherry as the material to represent the nucleus, I would have used a Smartie candy. Okay, the Smarties are like the tiny circles in the red. You know what it is. Anyways, the name Smartie better connects with the role of the nucleus. We know that the nucleus is the smart organelle because it contains the functions, it controls the functions of the cell and holds the DNA. So now I've named what the new material should be. I've named what the replacement should be. Now let's go to the next part. So now explain why you selected that material and then name what material you would use and why. We kind of did that before. So what I added is that I would use the Smartie because it is a more accurate representation of the function of the nucleus. This would be better because Matthew only considered the shape of the organelle and not its job. So here we sort of elaborated and added more as to why my replacement is better than Matthew's idea of a cherry. Next, we have our conclusion. Explain why your change is an improvement upon the cell model. Now, this is what I want you to do on your own. In your conclusion, you can also be like a true scholar baller shot caller and add some additional information. In your conclusion, you can add maybe what Matthew did well. You can add if there are any other improvements that you might make to his cell model. You can even add an explanation of why overall does accuracy matter. Why can't we just throw anything into a cell model and say, oh, a pillow represents the vacuole? Like, why can't we do that? Why is it important to be scientifically accurate? Okay. Now, I know what some of you are doing right now. You're copying down what I wrote. Let me make this clear. If you use Smartie to replace the cherry in your answer, it's an automatic F. The point of this activity is to push you to think on your own and create your own material, and that will let me know that you're ready for tomorrow. So, don't use Smartie. You can't. You'll fail. What else can we replace the nucleus with? Or maybe you changed a different material for a different organelle. That's totally fine. The big thing is how can we make Matthew's model better? All right. Once you are done with the planning of your writing, you're going to put all of your planning together in the final draft, and then the final stage is going to illuminate and typing your response in. Remember, you're going to go to the assessment that says Cell Analogy Final Draft 925. All right, y'all. I know it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to read your essays. Good luck. Take your time and make sure you're writing with scientific accuracy. All righty. If you need help, Miss Mills is right there. She's probably looking at you like you're crazy, telling you to snug, put your binder somewhere. I don't know. Y'all know how she is. Okay, bye.